tonight, or today, or whatever time it is for you, I want to read you a story. I always find it so relaxing and nostalgic to be read a bedtime story. And I found this little book that has quite a lot in. Some of them are really famous kind of fairy tales, and some of them are ones that I've never heard of before. But let's choose together and get ready to relax. So there's one section which is all about teddy bear tales. And in that there's some that I recognise, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But then there's some that I don't recognise, like The Exciting Life of Uncle Bobo and Grandfather Bear Goes Fishing. The next section is called Fairy Tales, and that has all of the kind of obvious ones, like Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Thumbelina, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty. Then there's animal tales and rhymes, like The Hare and the Tortoise and Noah's Ark and The Ugly Duckling. Then there's a Christmas Treasury with the 12 Days of Christmas, We Three Kings, and The First Noel. And then there's a lot of nursery rhymes, like Polly put the kettle on. Polly, 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 Polly. Incy Wincy Spider. Lucy Locket lost her pocket. Lucy Locket lost her pocket. Lucy Locket lost her pocket. Pocket, 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 pocket. Wee Willie Winky runs through the town. Winky, 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 I think I'll go to fairy tales, and the one that's calling out to me the most is one that I really used to love when I was a little girl. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I feel good about reading this one. And it's full of beautiful illustrations. this is the one that I want to read. It's actually very... it's kind of short. It's called Rumpelstiltskin. Are you comfortable? Yeah. Good. Relax. Once upon a time, there was a very silly man who had a beautiful daughter. The king heard of the lovely girl and summoned her father to the palace. Overcome by such grand surroundings, the man talked all kinds of nonsense. Not only is my daughter beautiful, he boasted to the king, but she can spin straw into gold. The king smiled, for he loved money more than anything. Bring her to the palace, he cried, and if she can do as you say, I will marry her. So the poor girl was brought to the palace and shut into a tiny room with nothing but a pile of straw and a spinning wheel. You have until morning to spin that straw into gold, said the king, but if you fail, you must die. As the door clanged shut behind her, the girl burst into tears. She hadn't the faintest idea of how to begin to spin straw into gold. Suddenly, with a puff of smoke, a strange little man appeared before her. "Why all these tears, pretty one?" he asked. Sobbing, the girl explained her dilemma. "But that's easily solved," laughed the strange little man. "You give me, let's see, your gold ring, and I'll spin this straw into gold." The poor girl was only too glad to make the exchange. Long before morning, the little man had done as he had promised and disappeared as quickly as he had come, leaving the girl alone. The king was delighted when he saw the golden thread, and at once he wanted more. "We must be sure that this was not a trick," he said. "Tonight you shall have even more straw to spin." That night the strange little man appeared again. He chuckled when he saw the huge pile of straw. "Child's play," he cried. "But I shall need payment, pretty one. Your glass beads, perhaps." Eagerly the girl handed over her necklace. The little man sat down at once and began to spin. By morning he had disappeared, leaving behind several skeins of gold thread. "This is splendid," said the king when he saw it. "You will not object, I am sure, to one more test. If you pass again, you should certainly become my queen." This time there was a whole room full of straw for the girl to spin. When she was left by herself, she cried so bitterly that she did not see the little man appear. "What's the matter, pretty one?" he asked. "Surely you know that I will help you." "But I have nothing left to give you," sobbed the unhappy girl. "No matter," said the little man. "When you are queen, you shall give me your firstborn child. That will be payment enough." This seemed so unlikely to happen. The girl agreed at once, and the little man sat down to spin. When the king opened the door the next morning, the girl sat amid 100 skeins of thread lit by their golden glow. The king had never seen anything so beautiful, and he ordered that their wedding should take place at once. A year passed. The new queen was happier than she could have ever believed, especially when she gave birth to a lovely baby daughter. But one night, as she got ready for bed, she was startled to see that the strange little man was standing beside the baby's cradle. "It's time for you to carry out your promise, pretty one," he said. The young queen was terrified. "I'll give you anything else you want," she cried. "Take my jewels, take my crown." But the little man just laughed. "I am not a cruel man," he said. "If you can guess my name before 3 nights have passed, you will never see me again." On the next 2 nights, the queen guessed every name she could think of. She asked her soldiers to ride through the kingdom collecting the strangest names they could find. But at every name, the little man just chuckled and shook his head. On the 3rd day, a soldier came to the queen and told her a strange story. As I was riding through the forest, he said, I saw an odd little man dancing around a fire singing, The queen will never win my game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name. That night, the little man appeared before the queen. Is your name Hurly-Burly? She asked. No, cried the man. Then is it Humpleby-Bumpleby? No. Then perhaps it is Rumpelstiltskin. At that the little man turned red with fury. He stamped his feet so hard that he fell right through the floor. And the young queen lived happily ever after, and never saw the strange little man again. Hope you enjoyed this reading. I think I'll probably come back to this handy little book sometime in the future for more stories.